welcome to the Escapart Podcast. My name's Stuart. What a week, what a month, what a year. We've already started off the year and we've seen many established stars pass away or retire. We've lost a lot of broadcasters here in the United Kingdom. We've lost singers, we've lost David Bowie, we've lost Lemmy, we've lost great actors and great performers. And more recently we've had the tragic news of the health of Paul Daniels, all of which can make the world we live in seem very dark, oppressive and disconcerting. So this week we're going to not focus on the negatives. We're not going to attend another wake. We're not going to look at things in a negative sense. We're going to be positive. And this is a list of 5 escapes that I really do want to do. I'll say that title again. This is an escape of what I really want to do. And unlike other lists, this isn't I'm not going to do that. No, it's a yes please, when can I actually sign up? So this list is, again, it's a personal list. You may disagree with me, but if you disagree, please make a comment in the section below. Get in touch, be civil, and I'll be civil back. First escape I really want to do, but I've never got around to doing it, is the water torture cell. And by that I mean both versions. And you may go, well, are there 2 versions? There's actually 2 versions. One is full view, which is performed at the moment by some very talented performers, including Living Illusion, and it is absolutely incredible to watch. And then there's the classic version that had the performer hiding behind or acting behind a curtain and escaping from the original design of the cell, both of which are amazing, both of which are brilliant. They are dangerous because you are underwater, but both of them are stunning pieces of work, both of them are stunning devices, and I would genuinely love to have a go. Now, people listening to this will go, well, what's stopping you? Well, first of all, think about the context of where you're performing it. Think about the context of where this is taking place. At the moment, the vast majority of magicians, the vast majority of performers work at a level where they are doing smaller shows. The vast majority of people work at PTAs, small clubs, small shows, small locations. I'd have to carry, even at the local theatre where I could play to 400-500 people, I would have to take this device up a staircase that is completely inaccessible. I'd have to get this device round corners that I can't get to. Then you've got draining the thing, because you've got all the logistics of getting the water that's in the cell out of it at the end of the performance. Some venues, some PTAs, some schools that book you are on incredibly tight budgets and have limited resources. So how are you going to fill the thing when you get it onto stage in the first place? These are all the logistic problems that you face. And whereas in the past it would have been fairly simple, you could have hired some stage. Yeah, it is a complicated process. It is a complicated device. And the fact that you're using water on a stage so close to electrical equipment, it is a logistical nightmare. Having said all that, if those could be overcome in a cost-effective manner, I would have a water torture cell tomorrow. Which leads me to my next escape, which is, and it's trial by fire. Now, trial by fire is copyright to Mr. Norman Bigelow, but it is simple and incredibly effective. Basically, it's like you'd see in the old-fashioned westerns or sometimes some of the cartoons, some of the action serials. A performer is handcuffed to a location in perhaps a wooden horse, some sort of table, and a trail of black powder, a trail of gunpowder is led away. And the performer has a set period of time for the length that fuse takes to burn through before it gets to the pile of gunpowder, which is next to the handcuffs, which of course your face is directly over. It then gets to there and there's an explosion. So you've got to get out before the fuse reaches you. Now there's a number of safety features you can use in this device. There's a number of safety features built in, but it is incredibly dramatic to see. And I know some performers who've had the pleasure of recreating this with Mr. Bigelow's consent, and I would love to have the opportunity to give that a go. I'm not saying I'd be any good at it. I'm not saying it would be a thrilling performance, because I am actually scared of fire. And as a result, as the flame comes towards me, I'm going to get out a lot quicker than perhaps dramatic intent should let me. But the reality is that it would be an incredible experience to at least try. And this leads me on to the third escape I would really genuinely like to attempt. And this is the John Ball. This is the John Ball straitjacket, and I'm putting this out there. I have faced a version of it, but I haven't faced an authentic recreation, and I would love to have that opportunity. I would love to engage in a battle of wits. For those of you not familiar with the John Ball, it is basically the ultimate in straitjackets. It's designed that when it's properly applied, the human being inside it is not able to escape. In fact, there's a great deal of subterfuge over whether or not the one and only person who did escape from it actually did it cleanly. There's a lot of conjecture, a lot of argument. Some people say he did, there's some evidence that said he didn't. I'm not going to get involved in any part of the controversy. What I will say is that it is a beautiful, crafted piece of equipment, and I would love the opportunity to battle with it, to be engaged in a battle of wits. Now, before anyone writes in and says, but it's an inanimate object, Stuart, why would you have a battle of wits with that? It's a battle of wits with the person who created it. It's the most purest form of challenge, because the challenge cannot be altered at the time. You're up against an object. You are battling wits with somebody else's craft. And that is what makes the John Ball such a fascinating straitjacket. Your arms are tied to the side. They're not tied across the front. The straps are inaccessible. There are a lot of elements there that could easily cause you to have muscle injury, nerve damage, tendon strain, and it is something that I would like the opportunity to at least try and face. And that's what this is about. It's the opportunity to try. I'm not saying I can do this with my eyes closed, quite the reverse. I will be going in eyes wide open and very scared, but unlike other challenges that make me want to go, no, thinking about it, no, not going to do that, no, not touching that with a barge pole, I'm actually being honest. I would really like the opportunity to have a go at trying to escape from these devices. The next one, number 4 on my list, is called the Fenton lock. Now, this is a lock that cannot be escaped from because it's in a private museum now. Well, it's not a private museum, but it's it's not on public display. It's in a museum, and it is very understandably, the curators are very scared of letting anyone tamper with it, fiddle with it, especially as it is a lock that Houdini did not escape from. It was a challenge that the great man himself never took up, and as a result of that, there's a lot of mysticism around it. Only 3 people, I believe, have escaped from it. Only one of them still alive, and that's the UK escape artist Condini. DeVal managed to escape from it. A replica was created by the master locksmith Ian McCall. Hats off to Mr. McCall. It is a beautiful emulation, a beautiful copy of the lock, and that was escaped by a gentleman called James Peters. Still no idea how he did it, but I'd like the opportunity to at least try and face such a device. The actual lock itself is it's basically a stock. It's a wrist stocks that basically were based around a unique form of lock that was designed. It was designed early in the 1800s, if I recall correctly. But it's just fascinating. There's so many hints and possibilities that could lead you to an amazing escape with it. And the fact that Houdini declined to risk to escape from it adds a layer of mystery to it. Which leads me to my last escape. The last escape I really, really, really would like to do. And there is a world record. Now, this is where you might think I'm being a bit hypocritical. I'm not. I've made it abundantly clear I do not want to do an escape on a roller coaster where I'm tied to the track. I have made that abundantly clear. There's an entire video on that. What I will say is I would love to do the world record escaping from handcuffs whilst riding a roller coaster. Slightly different. And the reason why I want to do that is because it hasn't been broken yet. No one has tried it. And the reason is partly it's very hard to find a roller coaster that meets the rules. I can get a roller coaster with some of the elements, but I haven't found one that has all of the elements. And that's even before you've tried to convince the people who own it that it's a really good idea for you to try. Also, the reason it's a challenge, it's because when you're in the roller coaster, you're already strapped in. Your movement is incredibly restricted. So you've got to overcome how the things lock onto your hands, how they position, how they hold, all of that. So that's 5. That's my 5 escapes I really want to try. There are escapes I want on my wish list, which is slightly different. And it's almost, there's escapes like premature burial, which is a Richard Sherry device. Fantastic. Beautifully crafted. I would really like to understand it and experience that. There are many escapes and many sideshow style performance. There's contact juggling. I'd like to do that, but that's not really an escape. But the 5 escapes right now, sitting here, I want to do trial by fire, escaping on the roller coaster, the John Bull, the Fenton, and the classic, or the original, or the modern water torture cell. Thank you for listening. This has been the Escapart Podcast, and as ever, I'm Stuart Burrell. If you agree with me, then please feel free to contact me, drop me an email. If you don't agree with me, drop me an email, get in touch, be civil, I'll be civil back. That's all I can ask. Thank you for listening, thank you for the time, and thank you for listening. Whilst you're here though, I am thoroughly indebted to our colleagues at Buzzsprout for allowing me to broadcast on their channel and have the download option. Also, if you're listening on Stitcher and also via YouTube, please subscribe, please get in contact, please subscribe to the YouTube channel via Escapart. If you've come via escapart.co.uk, the website, check out the shop section. We also have an ebook on how to roll frying pans. There's lots of videos of me rolling pans for people like the Dudley Boys, for Sylvester McCoy, and also video footage of me rolling for the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Mr. Powers, Darth Vader. And if you want to learn how to do it, if you want some idea of some routines, there's an ebook that's downloadable. It's $10. Please feel free to take a look, purchase. If you've got any comments, please feel free to let me know. As ever, thank you for your time. My name's been Stuart Burrell.